Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. Scorpio, we're going to start pulling out some oracle cards here, and I'm going to develop your reading a little bit more with the tarot. I'm just going to start reading your energy. Let me see you, Scorpio. Let me really see you, Scorps. Should go without saying, but it still needs to be said sometimes that this reading may resonate for some and it may not resonate for others. If it does resonate for you, that is wonderful. If it doesn't, you just stick it in a trash can and put it to the curb. If you don't understand the reading, that means it doesn't resonate. Just like that. All right, Scorpio. Let's see. Very interesting energy. I want to say, you're like engaging in some type of ritual. Feels very spiritual, to be honest. Loyalty and ritual are the two cards that have come out for you, like the underline and the card. Loyalty is the underline. Like, why? Loyalty supports the ritual. There's a ritual of some type of self-sacrifice. A ritual of loneliness. Like, it's the ritual of loneliness. You are so loyal, or you've been loyal before, but now you practice the ritual of introversion, loneliness. This is like a pattern. Oh, playfulness is at the bottom. Playful and loyal are like past energies. Have you been loyal to a fault in the past? Just the way this crane is pulling her through the sky. It feels like it has that feeling of like a caveman grabbing a woman from the hair and like, I claim you, I take you to cave. But playfulness, loyal to playfulness. And now your ritual, the ritual of loneliness. You know, some of you, it could be something like, I'm going to say it, it's very specific. All these bison in the winter here, just remind me of like hunting. So it could be something as simple as you could have a partner who goes hunting for a couple of weeks a year. Like, we're in that season right now. So you practice the ritual of loneliness. You're not going to see them for a couple of weeks. Or it could be, you know, once a year you go off and you do something just for you. I want to say loneliness, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's like being on your own. Loneliness. But then you feel that, right? Like, you feel the void. You feel the emptiness of something that's not there, that you've at least had before. But because this is a ritual, have you been here before? Have you been down this road before? And that's why, to me, it feels a little bit like if you're in a partnership with someone, maybe they're just gone for a couple of weeks because they're hunting, or somebody maybe travels for work and they're on like one of those weeks where they're traveling and they're not home. But you're the person in this ritualistic loneliness. For some of you, I feel like it could be preparing. Could be even like a seasonal preparation. The way it's almost like looking at this winter approaching through this opening. But the bison are looking at her, I feel like. Like, enter this space. The bison are looking at her as if it feels like to enter this space. Because they're actually starting to come out. In this artwork, the bison actually comes out of like what you would think, well, they're painted on there, but they're really not. They're coming through that. I'm getting the impression too that you've been through many repeating cycles here of needing to do things on your own. Almost it becomes very familiar. You may even have, people around you perhaps. You could be living in a home with a big family, but it feels like to me that, people get caught up in what's going on with themselves. They don't even like notice you. You're just kind of there. This just becomes a ritual, or not, it could be like maybe you have kids that get really involved in different sports and stuff, and they're swimming and they're playing hockey or they're playing basketball or whatever, and it's just like, yeah, mom, dad, you got my lunch, they go, it's like there's something ritualistic about this loneliness for you. Let's go into the tarot. That's not the tarot I want. I shuffled it, but it doesn't feel right. Oh yeah, I don't know, I'm being called to the steampunk. Some of you, it could be it could be a work thing too. You could your own work could involve you being on your own for quite a bit at times. And this is very expected. As you've done it before, you'll be doing it again, or you are doing it again. I'm sort of hearing too, it's lonely at the top. So the ritual of loneliness. Oh my God, it's crazy. You got the 8 of Pentacles and the 7 of Pentacles with this ritual. See, it could be for some of you, it's your work, it's your life work, it's mastering something here. There's like a repeat pattern going on. Where I feel like you're always kind of planning on your own here. Loneliness. The work that you do could be very lonely. It could be, you could be doing some type of work, even if it's just not like career work or even community-based work. It could be, you could be a musician or an artist, or, in your work, you ritualistically, an author. They're going into that room or they're going to that cabin and they're going to sit down and write that book. Four of Swords. Interesting. The Four of Swords is coming out with loneliness. So that kind of tells me here there's something like you're adapting. You're adapting to being on your own. Something repeats itself enough times that that's who you become. Finding like this is not a place for loneliness, but this is a place for self. Look at this. The first, okay, you have the Hierophant with the 3 of Swords under it. And what, like, this, I think this loyalty, if I remember, it's kind of funny because it said it's like a caveman dragging her off, his cave woman off into the, just dragging her off there. If I remember correctly with this talks about red-crowned cranes and how they mate for life. Like they're very devoted to their partners, to their mates. And but this doesn't feel healthy. It's the way he's dragging her through the sky there. And it's interesting, right, that you get the Hierophant with the 3 of Swords, and that can be like tradition. It can be traditional relationships. It can be marriage. It can be institutions. There's so many things that can symbolize. But what I see here is going in a different direction. You have the 6 of Swords after the 3 of Swords. Then you have Justice. You have the Ace of Cups supporting the 6 of Swords, and you have the 5 of Cups supporting Justice. So I'm seeing someone here who has removed themselves from tradition in some way because tradition has not supported you emotionally or mentally, or there's been at least conflicts between emotional and mental support in some sort of traditional situation. With the Six of Swords, I'm kind of feeling like there's a sense of your intuition telling you where to go and you're not really sure why. You're just going in that direction and it's not where you've been, which feels like probably a good thing with the Hierophant and the Three of Swords. I want to say that I feel like this is a sense of someone developing their independence. Like, it could be like going through transition, right? Like if you were in a relationship or you were in a place where a lot of people were dependent on you, could still be connected to work, possibly with the Eight of Pentacles, and then suddenly finding yourself not there. But because this is ritual, like to me, that feels like something that, or you could be developing ritual. It does not have to be a repeat pattern. You could be developing a ritual of healing. You're developing some type of ritual here in healing. And when you are on your own, it is not loneliness. That's the part here that's being healed. So I want to say there's got to be something about finding yourself. Like reconnecting with yourself. The red-crowned crane, loyalty. The Seven of Cups. It seems like almost like it develops a question of where you should be loyal. Where does your loyalty belong? In your journey here and through life? I want to say you're finding your loyalty belongs with you. Now, playfulness, because you're healing loneliness. Playfulness. The Empress. Because this underlying feels like something that you moved away from. And the underlying is like the supporting energy. Been there, done that. Where are you now? Is what's sitting on the table. So I'm wondering if like in past relationships, maybe you were with partners or people that, I want to say this playfulness is maybe not being particularly responsible. Because it can get you in trouble. If you're not being responsible in the right circumstance, in the right context, what if you could like write this Empress is pregnant. Some of you may also have concluded in some way here a period where you were able to balance and manage being quite fruitful and productive and nurturing in a playful way. But it's like, where does your loyalty land now? Feels like the question that is kind of left. This ritual, it's like you're fine-tuning this to the point that could you fine-tune this anymore with the Eight of Pentacles and the Seven? The Eight is telling me you've mastered something, but to go into the Seven is like you're reassessing it. I think you've mastered something more than you realize. Because if you've hit the 8, you don't really usually need to go back to the 7 to replan. Oh, let's see. Why? It's almost incredible fine-tuning here. When that in itself feels very ritualistic, doesn't it? I mean, rituals are typically things that we establish that can be pattern formed too, or have a sequence to them. And that often to prepare us for something ahead, or to prepare for something ahead. But I'm getting like tradition with that. But it's funny because tradition is coming in. So you might even be turning something around, like something that is seen in a certain way. You could be changing ritual. You know, like before some type of a ceremony or a celebration. Like I'm just hearing Diwali, which I think is actually coming up as I'm recording this. Like, so you might have you might be a certain food that you cook, or there might be certain people that come over, or you would go and do certain things leading up to that or at the time of. But to me, because you're fine tuning, you're reassessing something that you've already mastered, you're looking at how to change it. As I say that, the Page of Swords comes out with it. You're looking to how to change it. Okay, yeah, why not? Tradition, particularly when it results in a conflict between what your heart tells you and what your mind feels it knows. That's the type of tradition that's not serving anyone. So it's as if you're recognizing this, either in patterns in your life or in some bigger thing around you. So this loneliness with the Four of Swords, the Four of Cups and the King of Swords. Now that feels like to me that there's been a compromise here of your heart. Your heart's the one that's been compromised. Look, it just feels like, doesn't it, looking at these swords associated with loneliness, like the emotional fulfillment, the like pursuing things that gratify the heart here are stuck, are caught between the mind. I want to say it's almost like the mind saying, no, I need to heal more. I need to. It's like the more you're looking to find, the more you're going to think you need to. I don't know. Let's see, because the cards are telling me, like how I am seeing it, that you've mastered some degree here of your own self-identity. And when you are spending time on your own, or you're the only one that perhaps in situations that you have to rely on, that this is not necessarily loneliness, but this is empowerment too. This is also, it can be an expression of self-empowerment. I mean, it's a tricky one, right? Because human beings are social animals. So the ritual of loneliness. But that also seems to be like part of the human condition. Like we can be in a crowd of people and feel totally unseen and not understood. And then it is the mind yet that seems to try to see this clearly. The Hierophant and the Three of Swords. The Four of Wands, the Hierophant and the Three of Swords. That feels like a painful marriage. A painful commitment that you made in a traditional sense here. That at one point would have been like a celebration. This would have been a great thing. But then you find emotional rejuvenation beyond that. The Five of Swords, yeah, well, you're going to have to either go forward or stay back. But in either way, nobody wins in this. The Five of Cups and Justice. The Sun. That's interesting. The Sun. Yeah, you guys are going in the right direction. Might not feel like it. There's Four of Cups. But you're definitely going in the right direction. I don't think you need to try to heal yourself anymore here. I mean, I'm just the observer. The Five of Four is the Five of Pentacles. Well, this is like someone out on their own, out in the cold, disconnected from things of the past. Temperance. The Two of Wands and Temperance. The King of Swords. Let's just get the King of Swords. The King of Swords with the Justice, right? Like they both kind of serve the same energy. Like these can be the laws and the rules of the universe and of course, right? And then the King of Swords can be like the judge or the lawyer involved in that. So because that justice comes with the Five of Cups, it definitely is. Like it doesn't matter. You can't win for losing here. Like you either would stay somewhere traditional, but be heartbroken, like your heart and your mind are never going to agree on this. So you need to move forward. But I feel like your mind knows that you're doing the right thing, but your heart, so now that I see this, is like your mind knows that you're doing the right things here for yourself, but your heart space, it's like your heart feels the loneliness. But that makes sense though, I guess, right? Like so cute. I just want to give him a little hug. Okay, so let's look at the King of Swords. It's like, yeah, my mind understands everything that I'm doing, but my heart is a little bit pouty. Look at the heart. This heart space, the emotional space. So I do feel like you've removed yourself from some sort of situation here where neither your heart or your mind were doing well. And now, I want to say that there was hope moving forward. You had, like with this Ace of Cups and the Six of Swords, you were hopeful. Your heart was hopeful moving forward, of course, right? Like the heart, maybe the heart too works off of intuition, I feel like it can be a compass for us, a guidance system. But where you stand now, your mind understands. Your mind is clear. Your mind's like, yeah, this is all right. This is exactly what we need to do. We're in the right direction here. Where things are great. The mind is healed with the Four of Swords. But the heart's like, well, fuck this shit. Your side's okay. What about me? It's like... Ace of Pentacles. This King of Swords. Oh, there we go. Because the King of Swords is like factual. Yeah, I see it. This is right. This is good. I see it right in front of me. Okay. So, but the heart is not factual. This all fell out face down. That's actually a bit of a mess. Yeah, it doesn't feel right. It's just, the Ace of Pentacles is what came up upright. So, tell me about the heart here for Scorpio. Because the heart is the energy that feels like it's missed out. It's only has the negative to feel here. Yet the mind says, no, everything's good. Look at what's going on around us. We've created good things here. We have good opportunities. But they don't feel like things that serve the heart. Look what came out with the heart. What would your heart tell you? The Five of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Nine of Cups. Your heart would tell you that it's fighting conflict here. But somehow it knows that the practical road forward is emotional fulfillment. Is like your own though, the Nine of Cups. That's what it is. The heart, what does the heart remind me of? Now your heart is interesting. Your heart reminds me of, I don't know what stage I would put it in. Something sort of adolescent-like. Your heart reminds me of something sort of adolescent. Like, this hasn't worked out. It's no good. Like, right with the Five of Cups. And then the Four of Cups is like, no, I don't want to play. No. But right, so it's kind of like what if somebody says, well, come and play. No. No play. No good play. I want to be sad. And I was like, okay. So it's almost like the heart's doing it because the heart has to figure out how to be happy on its own. But it's experiencing loneliness. I want to say the heart's experiencing loneliness. But yet, it has to work through this conflict to find its true happiness within. That's so deep, Scorpio. Boy, this was really interesting. Okay. The Eight of Cups, the Death card, and Judgment. I feel like there's been maybe like a heavy intellectualized energy helping, right? Eight of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles. Even though it's not like a sword energy, it's still, to me, it's like thinking, it's like planning. It's like you've perfected something here, but you're still looking at how to continue to change it and transform it, even though, you know, it's already pretty good. The heart, the mind, your mind is very clinical right now. Page of Swords, Four of Swords, King of Swords. King of Swords supported by the Ace of Pentacles. Like, oh yeah, I see these opportunities. I see what I can grow. I see what I'm creating. But so I want to say the heart has been almost like packed away with the Eight of Cups. The heart's been packed away. But yet not to say that there isn't some sort of mourning, because you have like some of those cards here. I mean, Three of Swords, Five of Cups. And in the Four of Cups, no, I'm not going to play. And the Seven of Cups. That Seven of Cups is with the red crowned crane. Loyalty. It's almost like asking, yeah, like what does loyalty get you? The Seven of Cups. But there's a new beginning here for your heart to come out and play, I feel like. Going with Death to Judgment. Interesting. Yeah. Oh, what do I want to do in the extended? When I started this reading, it's funny. I felt like, I think for the extended, I want to know whatever energy comes out, like what is Scorpio creating with that energy? But there's something like, I want to deviate from that. I almost want to have a conversation between your heart and your mind. I think that would be interesting because we kind of got one going here. So I want to look a little bit further into that, I think. Actually, let's combine it. What is your mind creating through kind of conversation? And what is your heart creating? Oh, there we go. So that's what I have for you, Scorpio. Until next time, be gentle with yourselves. Bye.